There we go. Thank you all so much for waiting. I appreciate it. We are good to go now. Hope you all doing well. I'm Umbras, and today we are in Gran Turismo 3. But we're gonna be doing some endurance race, so we're just gonna start with an endurance race. Let's see. I know I have a Miata somewhere. Yes, there is a Miata. There is indeed a Miata. There's two Miatas. Alright, that's 160 horsepower. I think this is the one I want. So let's get in. And now let's go to the tune shop. That way we can do the fun tires. Yeah, the Racing Super Slick. These are the ones we want. Get these installed. And now we'll be ready. Also, welcome to the stream, Midnight. Hope you've been well. Hope you are doing very, very nice. It is going to be a fun stream on one of my favorite tracks and one of the favorite cars. A little bit 100% in Gran Turismo 2. I think so. I think so. The hardest thing would be if you want to include the gold on all the licenses. Playing Gran Turismo right now. Very nice. So how did the NASCAR race ending make you mad? I heard it was like a overtime. I heard there was like overtime or something silly like that. So hopefully it wasn't too bad. Oh, alright, gotta be a little bit careful. I'm going just a wee bit quick. But we are quicker. Lenny got screwed out of it. Oh, I'll have to take a look at that later on. I was still kind of tired from the Japanese Grand Prix this weekend that I completely like forgot about the NASCAR race. That's on me. I'll have to take a look at the race, see if I can't find a race replay sometime this week and watch it. Also, the Japanese Grand Prix. What's your thoughts on the Verstappen-Norris drama on the pit exits? I know the rest of the race was a little bit on the boring side, but that was a bit spicy. Norris potentially unsafe release. Max not giving an inch. Very, very spicy. Very, very spicy there. Already the drama is kicking off. McLaren is still, I believe, still in the lead in terms of the points and everything, but Red Bull do be catching up. Tsunoda. I'm a little bit disappointed in Tsunoda. He did so well in the first practice. He did, you know, he was doing all right. He was coming to grips with the car. I mean, he did beat Liam Lawson, but still, I was really hoping it would be a double Red Bull points as well. Maybe. All right, give me that suck. Give me the slipstream. There we go. Up into second place. First is a little ways away, but we will get first as well. Don't you worry, sunshines. Little tippy tap there. Give me the littlest bit of bump. Yeah, 6 seconds ahead. We will bring that down. Don't you worry. We have the longer distance tires, so they haven't even come up to up the temperature yet. They haven't come up the grip. They're the front right starting to. But the rest of them are more so still kind of cool, still outside the optimal temperature window. Once you start getting into kind of the light blues or even like the greens, that's where we'll really start seeing some really good lap times. Oh, I love the Miatas as well. And it's such a cute color too. Right, I gotta remember, I am on racing slicks that are starting to come up actually up the temperature. I can brake a little bit later. I'm doing the one-make races right now. Oh, fun. And the hardest ones will be the NSX, probably. The AZ1 one is a difficult one because that one, you gotta rely on the RNG of the used car dealership. Same thing with the March race as well. For most of the March cars, especially the faster ones like that March R. That one is a little bit quicker. So you do gotta be careful with that. Also the grind for the money in order to get the upgrades and everything to the racing version is definitely a little bit rough. But it ain't too bad. There we go, round the corner. Here we go, here we go. Okay, car is a little bit outside of its power band when we go on the uphill section. Gotta remember, these Miatas aren't exactly quick. So we gotta really work to get even faster. And that is gonna be a bit tough. Yeah, okay, so we can start braking at the start of the curb on the left. And that'll be a braking point for the hairpin. That'll help us shave off a little bit of time. Our tires are starting to come out to temp. The right sides are. So we can start to see. Yeah, there we go. That's a big time gain. That is a big time gain. We can start treating this like a car on racing slicks. Alright, a little bit spicy through there, but we should still be gaining time. You're into the car. Wanted to go around just a little bit. Wait, what? He's pitting. Oh, he must be on like the really soft tires. Okay. I was wondering why I was having difficulty catching him. Bye-bye, buddy. Bro was having a rough time. Bro was having an absolute rough time. I was wondering, like, I was absolutely sweating a little bit trying to really push the Miata on like the hard tires to catch him. He was one of those soft tires. I mean, the pit stop worked out though. He's now in 4th, and he'll be rapidly gaining on the rest of them. Zool, welcome to the stream. We'd be driving Miatas. We be driving Miatas. Only the best Miats. We got a little yellow Miat here, the NB chassis, the cutest of the Miats. And right now on track, the fastest of the Miats, as we are much quicker than pretty much everyone else. The leader did pit, so now we are up into the lead. They are on a softer compound tire. And in Gran Turismo 3, it's the last game that you couldn't switch compounds mid-race. That means he is stuck on that soft compound tire for the entire race, which means he is going to be having a very fun time. As well, he'll be setting, you know, purple laps, purple sectors, and everything like that. He probably won't be able to catch us too much, because I think we were on pace. I'm trying to reduce a little bit of mental math. We were on pace basically to do 1 pit stop every time they do 2 pit stops, which is going to be a very fun experience for them. Such a cute little Miat. The NA and the NV chassis are some of my favorites. They're just absolutely adorable. Just so cute little small cars. And it's always fun seeing some of the older Miats on the road as well. Both modified and even the stock versions as well, as long as they're in good condition. Because, like, it is... I don't know, it's like they kind of have that classic feel now. I know it's weird saying that, as the NB came out around when I was born, thereabouts. So to say they kind of have a classic feel is a little bit disheartening up to myself, but yeah, I mean it's true. Like they look so much different than kind of like the modern cars as well, and they're just fun little, you know, sporty cars that you can just enjoy driving with, whether you're doing autocrossing or a toge or just kind of going for a drive. It is just great little cars, and I absolutely love them. Right, tires are actually like at the max grip now. You got the March. Ooh, which March did you get? Did you get the? Are you ready for the March Madness one make race? I'm sorry, that was terrible. That was a terrible pun. Bad Isaac. Bad Isaac. No, seriously, which March did you end up getting? There's quite a few good options. My personal favorite is the March R, as it has a very good power to weight ratio. A little bit weaker on the aerodynamic side, as it is a bit boxier than the other Marches. But, I mean, it's still a really solid performing vehicle. Very good all around. Oh. Basically, all you need to win most races are the super soft tires and a ton of power. Yeah, that is true. That's why if you saw, like, when I was playing the game and everything, I tried to, like, minimize how much vehicle tuning I did. Because a lot of times you can... You can absolutely blow the competition out of the water, and you're like... Oh, well, I mean, that's not as much fun to watch as a viewer. Or play as a streamer, because you're like, oh, yeah, they're just turning laps. It really tends to do a hot lap session. But, yeah. It's... I try to add, like, a little bit of an extra challenge myself as a streamer, just to make things at least a little bit more interesting. Like, here I got only the hardest tires. That way, at the beginning, I'd be kind of trying to push on you know, cold... almost frozen tires before they got up to temp. Then also I'm a cheapskate in racing games. I don't like spending money if I can avoid it. Not sure much. That's alright. There was quite a few in Gran Turismo too, so sometimes it's a little bit difficult to kind of differentiate between one and the other and everything. Sorry, had a little bit of a tickle in my foot. Oh, the Apricot Hill is an absolutely gorgeous track. If I ever become like a multi-millionaire, multi-billionaire, I'm gonna buy up some land and make this track real. Like, it just looks like it would be a very fun, like, GT and Grand Touring and touring car, like, racetrack. Maybe some, like, lower level Formula or even, like, IndyCar and stuff like that, too. But, like, I don't know, it's just a fun... flowing track that even in like slower speed cars like your Miatas, like your, you know, Toyota Yaris's, like your, you know, your Hachirokus, you know, all of that stuff, it's still a very, very fun track because it's got a lot of the momentum corners. I will say that this corner here would probably need to be slightly reprofiled, or at the very least give massive amounts of runoff on the outside. Otherwise, having a tire failure there, or steering, or any of the mechanical failure there will result probably in a world of hurts, and that is not something we want to have. Probably in this corner as well, extend the runoff just a little bit there too. Add like an extra layer of safer barriers. Get some of like the really, really good stuff. But like the elevation change, the fast flowing corners, even the chicane is really, really fun because it narrows massively. And you basically kind of have to try to like swing your car through it. That way you can carry the momentum on the uphill, because that is where you gain or lose a crap ton of time. Come on, you little Miata. The cutest little bean of a car. There we go, that's another gear. Ooh, 142, that is much better. That is really, really good. Alright, let's keep that time going. There we go, smooth through the S's. There we go. I gotta watch ourselves on the uphill. There we go, we should be good. I wish I could see like my split to my best time as well. Gran Turismo 7 has that, and that's one feature I actually really like. But like, I also want to see like how good I'm currently doing as well compared to my best time. That's such a great feature. I like having that in racing games. Everything from like the iRacing to the you know, Assetto Corsa Competizione to, you know, again, Gran Turismo 7, all of that stuff. It really is fun, because then you can really kind of focus on your consistency, how you're driving and everything like that, how to, you know, how you're taking these corners better or worse than the previous lap. You can also kind of see, you know, where potentially your tires might be falling off and everything. Alright, little tippy tap of the brakes. Oh, that's gonna run me a little bit wide. Also not getting gold in all the licenses. That dude, don't worry. Gran Turismo 3 is probably the oldest of the Gran Turismos I can get gold in all the licenses on. 1 and 2, those license tests, especially because you don't have the option to have a ghost car or like an onboard relative, do make it very, very tricky to see where you're gaining or where you're losing time, how to improve and all that stuff. You can only kind of guesstimate. Couple that with the fact that I'm not as much as I like the content as much as I like the game itself. I'm not the biggest fan of the handling model in Gran Turismo 1 and 2. The cars feel a little bit too floaty, a little bit kind of almost styrofoamy. Like Gran Turismo 3, the cars feel like they have a little bit more weight, a little bit more inertia. But they also feel like they have a bit more like grip and bite as well, which is very, very nice. Also, Gran Turismo 2 doesn't count them for 100%. Yeah, it only counts if you completed them. But it could be any tier. Although some of the reward cars you get for the gold in the tests are also pretty good. So, you know, you gotta it's at least have some enticing reward. Oh, just like a license in consideration? Oh, wow, okay. Huh. That's actually a little bit disappointing. That is actually a little bit disappointing. I have to start to save with all golds and it's at 0%. Rip. Big ripperoni and cheese. I mean, I guess on the other hand, I guess it prevents it from locking out like a good chunk of players from being able to get 100% completion. But still, like that's a little bit sad. That is a little bit sad. Ooh, we had 3 laps very, very close to each other. A 142.995, a 143.51, and a 142.997. Holy moly, absolutely human stopwatch levels of consistency right there. Okay, a little bit of understeer. That's gonna hurt me. That is gonna hurt me a little bit. When I replay Gran Turismo 2, I'm just gonna use the starter save. Yeah, that way we can start with some solid vehicles and everything. Oh yes, you had the March Super Turbo. Okay, so that is another one outside of the March chart that is very, very good. Because it's such a small displacement engine, but it's got like 110 horsepower stock. And it can scale up a decent amount if you upgrade it. So it's not a bad vehicle. I quite like it. That and the March are 2 of my personal favorites. Alright, I may try. Now they're gonna racing modify it. Nice. Get to see the cool the cool Nissan livery on and everything. The little add-ons for the aero. Not much, but it's just a little bit. Kind of some of the rally components. That's one thing I really like about the race modifications in Gran Turismo 2 is they tried their best to make it as close as possible to like the real world like racing cars and everything. Which was super, super cool, because you get to see, you know, exactly how they made it and everything. Or like, you get to see, you know, like, kind of like how they, you know, thought each car could potentially be, you know, turned into a race car based off of, like, what already exists. Yeah, that is one disappointment, though, is if you're upgrading a car, you better be having it for, like, the long haul. Otherwise, you are going to be wasting money. And the fact that especially for like the really cheap cars, like the March R and everything, the fact that the race modification and all the weight reduction is still super, super expensive is a little bit rough. Like, I get why they wanted to do that, because, you know, it gives you a reason to drive some of these slower cars and everything. But, like, on the other hand, like, holy moly. It's a good thing there's so many good grinding options in Gran Turismo 2, because otherwise I would have probably lost my sanity. Alternatively, if there wasn't that many good grinding options in Gran Turismo 2, they should have had the one-make races give prize cars as well. Even if they're only tangentially related to the one-make race, it would have been at least something. That's one thing I'm a little bit sad about for the Gran Turismo 2, though, is the lack of reward cars for the rally and the one-make races. I mean, it means that you kind of, when you're doing those, you're kind of locked into doing them for the end game, because otherwise, the amount of money it takes to, you know, get a vehicle that's competitive for those versus the money you get from them, it's very disproportionate. You're not really, it's not a good deal, you know. It's just very, very rough. I think probably around lap 15, I will hit the pits. That way I can do a two-stop strategy. Not two entering to the pits now. Alright, so that's the NA Mazda Miata, and what's the other one? Oh, they're both the NA Miatas. Okay. Cool. That is A-okay. But yeah, you're seeing the tires, they are starting to fade just a little bit. Seeing them getting into the yellow now, starting to fall off on the grip. Which will still be good until lap 15 though, before we even need to think about changing them. If they aren't even touching orange by lap 15, I may consider going to lap 20 and doing a one-stopper. That way we can minimize the time loss in the pits. Next playthrough, see how much I spent for cars for one-make races and how much money I earned from them. Oh gosh. You are going to be very disappointed very quickly. Because like those one-make races only give out like 5, 10, maybe 20 grand on some of the higher paying ones. And like for the racing modifications alone, you're paying like 80 grand plus all the weight reduction upgrades. Plus the cost of the car. So you're paying like maybe almost $200,000 for the vehicle to do some of those events. And you're like, well, okay, damn. Big ripperoni there. There we go. Oh, there we go. There's the apex. We hit it that time. Alright, that's the NB Miata. Anyone else? Any other takers? That NB Miata should be coming out ahead of the two NA Miatas that are coming around this corner now. So they'll be coming out in 4th place. Yeah, there we go. They're already moving. They're already moving. Yeah, they are way out there. Alright, good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. Come on, big push now. Big push. Our cute little Miata. It's a funner race though. I really like the Roadster Endurance race. I like the being able to use the like the slow cars and everything for these types of races. I know not everyone likes that. Some people are like, you know, the boom boom super quick cars and only those. But it's fun that they try to have other races with like different tiers of vehicles in it, which is really, really enjoyable, really, really fun. Alright, come on. Big push. We may end up lapping soon as well, so that'll be fun. Already gaining about 3 seconds a lap on the lead car, even on these worn out tires. So I think I may only do a one-stop strat. Yeah, the one stop will probably work out the best. Under the Dunlop Bridge. Brake a little bit before the start of the curb now, as the tires are beginning to show their wear. I'm not really seeing any tinges of orange, so I think I think a one stop would do it. So I'm losing about 30 seconds, 20, maybe 20 seconds in the pits. So one less time I got a pit, that's 20 seconds saved. But in the final like 6 laps, I'm losing like 2 seconds. So that's about 12 seconds there. So I gain about 8 seconds total in my time by pitting only once. I think, yeah. That's how you mental math, right, Isaac? Right, chat? All those side by side ahead of us. We are ready for a treat. We are ready for a treat. There we go. Oh, they're nose to tail now, duking it out through the yeses. This is gonna be a fun one. All right, come on. Where's the waved blue flags? There we go. Okay. Ooh. Damn, Mr. V-Track Champion Live with something else. I've been called worse things. But welcome, Mr. Jordan Brunch, Mr. V-Track M Champion. Hope you've been well. But yes, we are playing something awesome. We're driving some of my favorite cars around one of my favorite tracks in the game. Oh, the struggle in the uphill, though. But we're racing the Miats. A Miata Enduro would be absolutely amazing. Just seeing all the lightweight roadsters just drive through. I got 825 credits from a highly upgraded race modified March. Yeah, you got ripped off, buddy. Big ripperoni. This is why I focus on doing the one makes at the end of the campaign. The cost versus reward is pretty dreadful. Well, I saw a cool Ray Obscure race car today. Yeah, I saw you you post the Marcos picture in your Discord. That is super cool. Going to Knock Hill today. Also, Jordan, I have an idea for one of the Assetto Corsa modded races. Yeah, the Marcos LM600. For one of the AC weekly races, granted, I don't really do those too much just because I am currently out of space on my computer. But I'm thinking about a cool one, and one that'd be really cool would be the Impreza 22B, either like the rally car or like the regular street car, you know, or the one that kind of Colin McRae made famous, or Knockhill. That would actually be a pretty cool combination. Plus, also the car would handle very well with all the bumps and all of that. Could be a fun race. Could even time it to do that, to have it as like a Colin McRae tribute race or something like that. Either like on like an anniversary of like one of his championship wins, or if you want to be a little bit more darker, the anniversary of his passing, or on his birthday if you want to make it a bit happier occasion. Recommended if I was part of the track staff team, but I'm not anymore. Yeah, I know, you're tired, but I just wanted like, that's something I was thinking about. I'm like, well, that'd be pretty cool actually. 63%. That's not bad. You're 2/3 of the way done then, almost. Good stuff. Good stuff. Alright. Thought you were gonna say something else. What was I gonna say? Why can't he use the Mayans R34 in your R34 race? I had the exact same reaction to using the Mayans Mitsubishi Lancer Evo in the Evo race in Gran Turismo 3. The game apparently, up until 4, did not count the tuned version of the cars as like the base cars. I thought you were suggesting we're doing a race together. Oh, what race? I'm kind of scared now. I am on a bit of an iRacing hiatus, so nothing there. At least not until like next year. I'm taking a little bit of a break for that one. Just because that sim is cursed for me. That sim is absolutely cursed for me. It's like a Hope Diamond around my neck. And for those of you that know the Hope Diamond, most of the people that had owned it before it ended up in a museum ended up dying horrifically or under mysterious circumstances. Like that diamond is, people believe, is genuinely cursed. That's stupid. Yeah, being unable to use the Mines R34 in the R34 race, or the Mines Evo in the Evo race, it is painful. Especially because you can use the Nismo or Skyline in the R30 in the GTR race in Gran Turismo 3. I'm gonna small unofficial series at the moment where I have a guest driver alongside me in my team's cars for 2-driver iRacing endurance. Ah, that'd be pretty cool. That would probably have to wait a little bit for me, just because, like I said, I'm on a little bit of an iRacing hiatus. I got a love-hate relationship with that sim. On the one hand, the driving is genuinely really great. On the other hand, I kind of hate doing actual races with it because I feel blind. Unofficial series on the channel. This week I had to kill high. The last week was okay. Very nice. Honestly, it might be worth talking to Kaito as well about it once he gets his PC all sorted for iRacing and Enduros again, because he's been chomping at the bit to get that all sorted and to begin doing some iRacing Enduros. So that may be pretty cool. Could even tie it in with another Racing VTuber Rundown podcast, where after the Enduro you kind of do the podcast about said Enduro and everything and all of that stuff. That'd be kind of a cool like double header collab. Be fun to teach him some tips for endurance racing. Yeah, I've been prepping him for the Continental Circus Enduro at Spa, the solo Enduro. And it's gonna be. I'm excited. I'm excited for the multi-class Enduro. I was a little bit annoyed with how people drove a bit at Laguna Seca, especially after being held up by a very aggressively defending GT3 that allowed me to lose podium position. But it's water under the bridge now. It is what it is. What, you can change racing modification types? Wait, what do you mean by that? What do you, This might be news to me as well. Because I just picked the first option and then just changed the color on that. I didn't know you could actually change the Huh. Now I gotta dive back into Gran Turismo 2 and see. I said, if you change your mind, hit me up and try something sometime. Yeah, I'm thinking probably at the end of this year, I'd probably have a little bit more free time to do stuff. Yeah, at the end of this year, I probably have a little bit more free time to do more like kind of the sim racing stuff with less burnout and less the stress and all that. There's a button to the left of the racing modification screen that can give you a different racing Oh shoot! That's cool as hell! I didn't even know that. I'd have to go back in and see that for myself then. Get some of the fun racing modifications. Oh, the Miats, the speed. All right, so first lap, or first half done. It's gonna be about, I think, just under 50 miles. Because the entire race is about 100 miles total. It's a mini enduro, not super long, a little over an hour. But it's still a very fun race. Getting to drive over my favorite track. And then afterwards we'll switch back to the Lease 190 and then do some of the other stuff, like the mid-engine car race and all that stuff. Not sure how many cars it applies, but the R34 is one of them. Ooh, that makes sense. There's probably quite a few different racing versions of the R34, so they probably want to have one version, at least a couple different versions for it. All right, here we go into the pits. Alright, we are out past the speed limiter. Gosh, Evergreen Hill would be such a great track IRL. It's fast, it's flowing. So there are two for the R34. Okay, nice. And each of them probably come with like different like color options as well. Oh, we came out right in traffic. Holy moly. Ow, alright, you're sending it. I see. Yeah, I know, we are on cold tires. Yeah, you got a little bit more grip than me right now. I will get right back within your suck though. Give me your slipstream. Give me your suck. Only one collab should feature. Ah, Sag. Big Sag. I thought it would be a little bit more than that. Oh, okay, they went wide. There we go. This allows me to carry a little bit of momentum out of the corner. Come on, give me your suck. Give me your slipstream. Hi, buddy. Hi, buddy. I wish there was a way I could flash my headlights in this game. I'd be going a little bit flashy on the on the high beams. Just, hey, don't mind me. Just trying to distract you a little bit. All right. Okay, we're good. We are good, I think. Yeah, there's the second place that we are about to lap just ahead of us. Tires are starting to get a little bit of temperature in them. It's gonna take a little while to do that, but we are working on it. We are checking. We are checking. Confirmed. There we go. Come on, up alongside. A little bit of a love tap on the rear, a little bit of a bump. Ooh, okay. A three-way battle, essentially. Whoa, okay, that's a dive and a half. That is a dive and a half. All right, the Black Miata went through. Do we have a new second place car? We will see here shortly. Yes, we do. All right, so that was a battle for second place that we got ahead of time. Welcome, Jaden. I just rage quit the Spanish Grand Prix in F1 2012. I just input for my crew to put on prime tires a lap ahead of time. I go in and put on the option tires. Oh, big rip. Big rip. Sorry to hear that, man. They were not ready for the the primes. Who are you currently driving for in F1 2012? Maybe that's kind of baked into the code for like the skill level of the teams and everything. Keep it in third right now. We're going a little bit slower speed. Tires aren't quite up to temps yet. Marussia, that makes sense. Yeah, Marussia back then were kind of pretty rough as a team. They weren't good. So that makes sense. That makes some sense. Just gotta do your best on what stupidity they give you, and try to impress other teams you maybe get the potential for a signing. But yeah, that is a pain. That is a pain and a half. Alright, we're doing alright. We're doing alright. Down a gear. Nice and steady. I tried the car up, kicking and screaming to 8th place, finishing about. Ooh, points finish as well, I think. I'm trying to remember 2012. I believe that was they were doing points up until 10th. That or up until 8th. So either way, you got points. You got points. So that is the good stuff. Oh, we finally got temperature in the slicks. Finally getting a little bit of temperature after a couple of laps. Getting the gorgeous grippies. There we go, there we go. This thing is absolutely gorgeous. The cute little yellow Miat. It's still they got the high gloss paint job. Not too much wear and tear on it. I feel like my status as a second driver is pursuing to change, so pretty much carrying the team with Glock, not producing desired results. Is that Glock? Is that Glock going slowly? Yes, it is. Oh my goodness me. If you haven't already, I highly recommend watch the 2008 Brazilian Grand Prix. Honestly, watch the 2008 season in general. Like the 08 season was like peak, and the 2009 was really good, and 2010 was good, and 2012 was really good. Like that time period, like yeah, 2011 and 2013 were a little bit rough, but like all the other seasons, like from 08 to like the start of the hybrid era were like very nice. Even 07 was pretty good as well, because you had the battles between the two McLaren drivers and Kimi Räikkönen right there as well, right, munching on their heels whenever their egos are causing them to make a mistake. That was 07's a good season too. And after 2012, I think the next good season would be 2016. 2018 was pretty solid as well. 2017 wasn't bad too. 2017 had some good races, some good championship battles. Mercedes throw McLaren in a scrap for the championship with Alonso, Button, and Rosberg. They've all won their race. Dang, okay. Wait, which one is the driver for Ferrari? Oh yeah, Alonso. I'm stupid. Mercedes has, I believe, Rosberg, and McLaren has Button. Right, yes. So that's pretty good then. They're all duking it out. Yeah, 2012. 2012 was a really close season. It was really, really good. Like, Alonso was on an absolute tear. Vettel was top notch. Weber was really, really good. Like, Hamilton put on a decent show here and there as well. Like, so many great drives from so many great drivers and everything. And it was just top notch. Absolute cinema. Like, the McLarens are really good, the Ferraris were really, really good, the Red Bulls were just absolutely amazing. Like, that was 2012 was a great year for F1. 2012 was a very good year for F1, holy moly. But yeah, there's a lot of great races, great stuff if you can find it. I know F1 is still a little bit spicy with their uploads of their races, so it's kind of hard to find. The races and all that stuff and keep them consistently found, but still. 2012 year was absolutely stacked. Massa, Alonso, Button, Raikkonen, Hamilton, Rosberg, Vettel, Ricciardo, and Schumacher all on the same track. Yeah. So many different world champions. It was just unreal. And so many really, really great drivers that hadn't won a world championship, like Weber, like Rosberg and all that stuff. Jimmy, welcome. We are in the at the Miata Endurance Race on April Hill Raceway. We're doing a one-stop strategy on the hards. And this is absolutely wonderful. Oh. This thing has been an absolute blast to drive. Just chucking it through the corners, carrying the momentum through all the corners. Rosberg, the man that, yes, the F1 YouTuber that beat Lewis Hamilton on Equal Machinery. I'm sorry. He seems like a nice guy, but he's not living that down anytime soon. I feel a little bit bad about that, but you know, it's just when you say beat Lewis Hamilton, you don't count. He doesn't count how many times Lewis Hamilton beat him as well, which is, you know, like, don't get me wrong, it's impressive he managed to really go toe to toe a couple of years and finally, you know, make it in 2016. But on the other hand, yeah, dude was like, all right, I'm broke, I'm spent, I am done. GG, y'all, I'm retired. Bro got his trophy and was like, all right, I'm getting tired, I'm heading home. Like, damn, okay. Pulling off the James Hunt there. Defeat your rival in a Formula One World Championship. Yeah, bro, exactly. This bro pulled a James Hunt. Beat his rival in one championship, and it's like, all right, peace, y'all. Never got back on Rosberg after the championship. Yeah, he's basically like, all right, tag, no tag backs. we went to the same. Both even became commentators or like sports pundits as well. Like the parallels. The parallels are unreal. Both the kind of the blonde pretty boy, you know, F1 drivers. Granted, Rosberg I don't think has punched anyone. James Hunt definitely has. I don't remember Rosberg hitting anyone. The one poor track marshal that James Hunt decked after a wreck. Oh man, that was rough. Yeah, but he actually maintained his health and well. True. Yeah, I feel bad. I kind of feel bad for James Hunt. Dude absolutely kind of pushed everything to the limit, and it just he kind of, it's a bit of a shame because he had a wealth of knowledge as well as a commentator and to have him gone so soon is a little bit sad. I never got the chance to listen to him live because he died before I was like really into F1. I think he died before I was even born as well. Oh yeah, it was just very disappointing. Nelson Piquet Sr. did hit someone in Germany, the Hockenheim race. Yes! At the first chicane, after the very long straight into the forest, two of the cars got tangled up, and Piquet absolutely went like kung fu moves on the other driver. I forget who it was. Like, there was someone else blue flagged as well, I think. Remember, I can only take so much alcohol. True. Big rip. Big rip. That is also true. And I'm not gonna say anything more about that. I am not gonna say anything more about that. Emerson Fittipaldi, though, he seems like a really nice guy. He even does like the sim racing nowadays as well. In his 60s, 70s? I can't remember exactly how old he is, but he's like, he's an older, you know, retired driver and everything. So the fact that he's still like doing like the racing sims and all that stuff, just because he finds it fun, is really cool. Dude just kind of has a passion for the cars, the motorsport, and everything. I'm gonna do rubber a couple times to get money. Yes, get the Speed 12. Yes, Hunt and Murray Walker did do commentary together. There was one where Murray Walker was during the Monaco Grand Prix back during the early 90s, where Murray Walker was talking about the switch to naturally aspirated engines from turbo engines, and how some drivers say, well, it's an entirely different car to drive now. It's much more difficult to extract pace from the car. And James Hunt said, well, I'm gonna say that is a load of horse shit. And Murray was like, oh, well, no, you know, we can't say that on air, James. The two played off each other. If you watch some of those older F1 races, the two played off each other really well, and it was really fun. Yeah, he did apologize after decking the Marshall too, but it's still like one of those heat of the moment things where like, yeah, he's apologizing now, but like, dude just rocked your socks off. Like, that's, you're still gonna be hurting after getting decked in the face by an adrenaline jumped up F1 driver. But yeah, I mean, that is at least a little bit of class of like immediately apologizing and everything. Yes, the interview, I think that was the 76 season? I think it was the 76 season. Maybe it was the 77 season. I can't remember, but it was when they changed the airbox design. It was when they changed the airbox design. They put on the smaller airbox in the cars to reduce the power of the engines. And James set a qualifying time almost identical to the qualifying time he sent the previous year at that track. I think it was Brands Hatch as well. Do you correct me if I'm wrong? And he was being interviewed. So the cars have been made slow with the regulations, but you're still quick. You're still as quick as ever. How do you do it? Big balls. Like, oh, okay, all right. I mean, I guess that's how you add downforce. That's how you kind of adjust the ballast and everything. Yes, you need a couple of characters like that, a little bit of like the hotheads in motorsports, just to really, you know, add a little bit of spice, a little bit of that flavor Like, you don't want everyone being a high, because it just turns into a ruck fest. But you need a good mix of like the technicians versus the performers, the icemen versus the hotheads. You know, the ones who get out in front and dominate versus the ones who absolutely scrap it out for position. The ones who try to pick up every last point versus the ones who try to methodically, you know, go through. Yes, yeah. Murray Walker was really great. And James Allen was solid. Another commentator that's very similar to Murray Walker that I quite like is Jean Hindhoff. He does a lot of like the Radio Le Mans and IMSA races, the commentary for those. And he is, again, about as excitable as Murray Walker. Very kind of opinionated, very high energy, everything. Yeah, the current commentators are pretty solid. They know this stuff pretty well. Like they do a good job of making sure like the race doesn't, you know, he even kind of races that a little bit more, dare I say, dry. It's still pretty solid. Like the Suzuka race this past weekend, like it was a little bit less overtakes and everything, but they still managed to like play up some of like the good parts and all that stuff, the battles and everything. Even if there wasn't as much overtakes themselves, there was still some battles going on. It was an okay race, 6 out of 10. Oh, I didn't hear the Italian commentator. Was he on the English broadcast or was he on the Italian only broadcast? Because I might not be remembering. Like Mark Webber, he shouted in Baku for Lewis to got to turn off the magic brakes. Yes, the scream. Ah! Like that was, oh my gosh, it was an early race to me as well. And like, I was half awake. But after like Verstappen kind of like dropped out because of the tire. Because of the tire failure, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do some other stuff because it looks like Lewis might potentially get a massive amount of points swing in the championship. It may be Jover. But then Lewis went wide on a turn, and I heard the scream like, well, hang on a sec. Hang on a sec. Someone's yelling, something happened. I hear it's Lewis. I come running out from the kitchen. They play the replay of him pushing like forwards, under, like locking up and sliding off the track. I'm like, oh shit. Oh damn. Okay. Wow. Ah, Italian early broadcast. Yeah. I'm trying to remember, 2024, that was Leclerc that won that one, right? Yeah, it's the kicking the tire, I mean. Oh, that's fun. It's fun to add the Max Verstappen kicking things right before they wreck as well. Just adds a little bit of fun. Yes, okay, so that was the one where Leclerc broke his curse. So that makes sense then, you know, the hometown hero potentially winning, you know, Ferrari potentially winning in Monaco as well. Makes sense that the Italian commentator would be like extra energetic and everything. Because, I mean, look, if you were an Italian, you were contractually obliged to be a Tifosi. Like you can't. It's just how Mafia works. It's just how the rules work. If you were Italian, you were contractually obliged to be a Ferrari fan. Even if you're not an F1 fan, you're a Ferrari fan. Hearing the English commentary and hearing shows radio circulation. Yes. Oh my gosh. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm a bit more of a Verstappen fan for like some of the younger drivers, but you know that made me tear up. Like I still root for Leclerc as well because dude's been through the absolute shit. And you know, they have him get those wins and everything is, you know, amazing. Bloodwolf, welcome. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the Gran Turismo stream. We got 6 and change laps left at Apikai Hill, where we are absolutely pushing this little Miata to its limits. And Ferrari into HSC, the Mafia. Yeah, whoever is currently dominating, that's who the FIA is assisting. Yeah, it's like Damon Hill's championship back in the 90s, where Murray Walker's like, if you excuse me, I've got a lump in my throat. Like that as well was really good as well. Where you're rooting for him, even if you're not like a Williams fan, even if you're not like a Damon Hill fan per se, like you're still rooting. You still want them to do well because it's hard to dislike some of the drivers, you know. Some of the drivers makes it a little bit easy to dislike them. Like I'm not the biggest Norris fan, especially after the. Well, if you have a good car, like you know, it's a car, it's a car. No, Mikey, no. Poor Toto. Dude is gonna have flashbacks of that. Like, he's gonna be sitting in a retirement home, and he's gonna be like having flashbacks of that race. Even still, someone's gonna slam headphones on the desk, and he's gonna like get the 1,000-yard stare. Okay, that's actually mean. I'm not gonna say that. That's mean. That's mean, Isaac. Don't. That's mean. Welcome to the new AMG livery. Oh my gosh, so many liveries! Which one are we actually running for the race, man? Yeah, it was... Ironically, Lewis Hamilton got his first World Drivers' Championship. The art one, okay. Is that gonna be the one? Okay, so that's the one we're gonna be using for the race. All right, cool. So I have that one. Good. Thank you, I appreciate it. This is your new TGT one. Okay. Nice, good to see you coming back then, man. Hopefully it's a good race schedule. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about the end of the Abu Dhabi 2021. 2021 as a year was an absolute just clusterfuck of a season between the max collision at Silverstone, you know, the Abu Dhabi 2021, the points paying Spa race, the double outside of the points finish at Baku, like so much drama. Like it was a great season, but on the other hand, I was also kind of glad that it was over because Twitter was getting absolutely toxic. But it is also a fitting bookend for Hamilton. He got his first championship through the absolute last lap chaos at the Brazilian Grand Prix, taking it from Masi by you know the final corner basically, and then he loses the championship on the final lap of the final race for what would have been his record-breaking 8th World Championship. That is a very compelling story right there alone. You know, the bookends there. Don't get me wrong, I quite like Lewis as well. Dude is you know a real class act, really good driver and everything. I don't quite like how his car has a tendency to understeer into rivals sometimes if they're on the outside of him. Seemed to have attacked quite a few Red Bulls during his days. Albon at Red Bull Ring, Max at Silverstone, Massa a couple times. It seems he suffers some understeer when he's on the inside of another driver. Also, Max driving at the car with a damaged wing, the P10. Yes, that was good stuff as well. Yeah, I'm hoping for big things from Kimi as well. Like I want to see the rookies really do well. I want to see them, you know, come into their own, evolve as the drivers. Okay, the one driver I'm actually really rooting for right now that I want to like see, you know, right up there with the big boys is Yuki Tsunoda. I've seen him since his F1 debut and then being like a super hot-headed, kind of reckless driver. And he's matured. He's been able to kind of develop some of the technical know-how. He's gotten faster as a driver, and I really want to see him absolutely, you know, kick ass in the second Red Bull seat to break the second seat curse, to be the teammate Verstappen needs, you know, to really kind of come into his own as a driver. So I want to see that, you know. Like, yeah, it is a little bit rough. It is a little bit rough that Liam was axed for 2 races, but I mean, when you're finishing that far off, like, yeah, the Red Bull this year seems pretty dog water. Even Verstappen saying it's kind of shit. Like, there's still, it's still a car you could potentially drag to like a lower points paying finish, but Lawson didn't really even do that, and it was pretty rough. I really want to see Isaac Hadjar and Kimi Antonelli be front-running drivers in the future. Yes! As well as Franco Colapinto as well. He's got some pretty solid skills as well. So it'll be interesting to see what he can do. I don't know. It's hard to find anyone in the current F1 grid to actually root against. Like, yeah, there's some drivers that you may or may not like, or you may be kind of lukewarm towards. Like, I don't care much for Stroll or Norris, but like, I don't actively like root against them. Yeah, like a P12 was a solid result, but like, I really want to see him in the points, really helping the team and everything. You know, providing that technical know-how as well would be really useful. Because Verstappen needs a good... Verstappen will need a good number 2 driver if he wants to win this championship. Yeah, hopefully next year's Aston Martin's a lot quicker. But I really hope that... As much as... Like, you gotta feel bad for his show as well. Like, he does have a pretty large online kind of hate-dom and everything. He just ain't cut out for F1. Like, maybe with Aston Martin's new sports car program, he can, you know, be shuffled into there, really kind of come into his own as an endurance GT or GT racing driver. You know, be a driver of, like, the factory GT3 program, or even the LMH program and everything. And, you know, do decently there. Where he can have a team that kind of really, you know, be around him, where he's in a bit of a slower vehicle. He can really kind of focus on, you know, consistent tire saving and adaptability and all that stuff. He may be okay-ish there. Yeah, like LMDH or like GT3. Something like that, especially at like a factory outfit or like a factory backed outfit like Harder Racing. Honestly, it wouldn't be bad to see him in IMSA, especially with him being a Canadian national. Like, it'd be a lot closer to home. He'd have a home race at... Or if he was in a GT3, he'd have a home race at Mosport. Because currently the LMDHs don't race at Mosport. So then his home race would then be like Watkins Glen or Detroit, being a lot closer to the Canadian border. But like, honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing him in IMSA. Be cool to have him, you know, do things like the 24 hours. The 24 hours of Daytona, 12 hours of Sebring, you know, like all of those races. Yeah, I'm a little bit more nervous, as well as a little bit more kind of like the patience, the strategy. You know, F1's kind of like, yeah, you do have a little bit of that high speed, split second decision making, but in GT racing, it's a lot more kind of long term planning and everything. And they may actually do a little bit better in that. But we could see. I don't know. I think if he wants to continue doing motorsport, that would probably be the best fit for him. Especially because then he get to drive on some tracks that maybe, you know, he hasn't really driven on before. Really get to kind of test out his adaptability. Or if he wants to drive on more tracks that he does want to drive on, you know, he could do like the WEC as well, because they race on tracks like, you know, Imola, Monza, you know, Bahrain, the Qatar, you know, like those tracks. Interlagos, I believe, as well. Spa. Like, he at least would have some level of experience with those tracks. The only ones he wouldn't know really would be like Le Mans or like Fuji. Would be like the big two that he wouldn't really have a whole lot of experience with. And I guess Portimao as well. He raced there like once during a pandemic, but that was kind of it. It'd be interesting to see him in rally as well, though. It'd be a lot harder for him to do that with F1, not F1, with Aston not really running a rally car. Yeah, Sebring might struggle a little bit with the bumps and everything like that, as well as the later evening heading in the sunset, the high, the lack of visibility. Oh, we missed the F1 car. We missed the F1 car. I mean, that is a gorgeous color for an NA Miata. I would absolutely drive that in a heartbeat. That deep maroon. Holy shit, that is actually gorgeous with the tan interior. On the other hand, we were one away from the F1 car. We were one away from the F1 car. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You gotta be kidding me. Oh well. We got the money. We got the race done. We're bound to get at least one F1 car in one of the endurance races. So I'm not too worried about that. Alright, let's go back up to the Elise 190. There we go, let's get in. Alright, let's go to the MR Challenge, where we get to race other mid-engine cars. It's a little Toyota power plant in the I think it's Toyota. It might still be the GM power plant, or not the GM, the Rover power plant. Yeah, I think this one actually is still the Rover power plant. It's the first gen Elise with the round headlights. That gorgeous kind of rose metallic color as well. Absolutely lovely. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We might be dominating the competition a little bit here. Well, you thought there was a chance to literally get in a car like that on one of those. There's a chance. You can do it. Usually doing a 100% playthrough, doing the endurance races, I get about a third to a quarter of the endurance races I get an F1 car. It just boils down to if it's a more useful or less useful one. I could technically win the final championship with any of the F1 cars, but it's good to have one that's got a little bit more power. One of the turbo ones. Holy moly, this is quick. This is absolutely quick. I think, oh, right. Give it a little bit of music, get the background music back in. Holy moly. This thing drives like it is on rails. Down a gear. There we go. The speed. The handling of this thing. This is lovely. This is absolutely lovely. This car is great. Ow. Alright, there we go. Gotta go down a gear. Gotta remember, that is gonna be a second gear corner, not a third gear. This thing, the power band is kind of narrow, and it is in the higher RPM range. So you really wanna absolutely push it. Really wanna absolutely push it through here. There we go, there we go. Yeah, we're well ahead of second place. The Opel Speedsters, which are also great vehicles and a kind of stable siblings to the Elise. At the Lego Williams F1, so the FW14B yesterday. Oh, nice. Which driver's car? Trying to remember which one was that one. Was that Mansell? Was that like Nigel Mansell? Was that Damon Hill? Mansell, okay. Nice. Very, very nice. The red 5. Very, very nice. 7, 8. Boom, shakalaka. That's another race done in the Elise 190. Holy cow, this thing is gorgeous. Holy cow, this thing is absolutely top notch. Alright, next one, Deep Forest Raceway 2. And then we'll go back to Apricot Hill. I think now that we kind of have a bit more experience driving some of like the lower speed cars, I'm gonna try to do some of the license tests for the S license. Mainly the Speedster at Apricot, the Miata at Trial Mountain, and then the Treno at Special Stage Route 5. I think it'll be the 3 I try tonight. I'll try to break up the S license test because those ones are genuinely really, really tough. I also treated myself to an external hard drive for my laptop, so now I have an extra 2 terabytes of storage. Let's go! Good stuff, man. Also, now that you're storing a lot more stuff, do make sure you're doing like a regular backup and everything as well. Might be worth, especially if your PC's a little bit older and you got lots of important stuff, getting like another like flash drive or something, so you can at least back up like the important documents and all of that, if you want. That may be a little bit useful as well. The last thing you want is any data loss, especially on like any big projects or any important documents, or even like, you know, a save on like a favorite game. Losing that always stings. Are they gonna love the design? I'm gonna find it weird. Ooh, okay. I have to take a look after the stream. Do you want to post it either like on like one of the Discord channels or DM me it? I'll have to take a look at that. Yeah, we are absolutely pulling away from the Speedster. The Elise, absolutely gorgeous machine, tearing through the corners. Getting all the camera lights flashing on our car. Such a cute little car as well. So small, so nimble, so zippy. But it's got some great speed too, like holy moly. It has got the grip. It has got grip for days. She's got the look. Whoop, alright, little bit touch and go there. Little bit touch and go. Come on, big push now. Through the S's, then a hairpin. Oh my gosh, this thing is an absolute Beautiful beast. Get it around the hairpin. Adachi, welcome to the stream. Sorry I'm late making pizza. Ooh, what kind of pizza? Hopefully it's a good pizza. I made myself some Polynesian pork. I seared up some diced up pork loin in a wok, moved it to a bowl to rest, then I put the aromatics, a little bit of the chopped ginger, a little bit of the garlic in the wok for about 30 seconds to a minute. Stir fried that up, then added some diced up red bell pepper, as well as some pineapple. Caramelized that. Add in this sauce, some teriyaki sauce, some sriracha sauce, a little bit of lemon juice, a little bit of lime juice, a little bit of the pineapple juice from the can. And then add the pork back in, mix it all up. Mid-levels of spinach and mushrooms. Ooh. Not the biggest fan of mushrooms, but everything else sounds delicious. We like all vegetables in my house. I like most vegetables. Mushroom is one of the few that I can't quite get past. Not a big fan of cabbage. I like collards. I do like collards though, especially if you're having it with kind of like your other kind of southern style cooking and everything. Cabbage is a bit more of a mixed bag. Like, I don't mind like adding like bits and pieces of like steamed cabbage into like soups and stuff like that, especially in more kind of traditional Asian style soups. That's actually not that bad, but like cabbage by itself is kind of mid. I do like the roast asparagus though. I'm gonna be grilling some chicken honey lime chicken skewers with some roast asparagus on the grill this Wednesday, and I am absolutely looking forward to that. That's gonna be tasty. Hang on one second. I got something in my eye. Oh, there we go. So the idea what the livery is the reverse Wilson livery, where the blue is the main and the yellow is the accent. Ooh, okay. Nice. That sounds pretty cool, actually. Oh, but that pizza sounds pretty tasty, though. Like, honestly, I'd probably give it a try even with the mushrooms on it. I have tried a couple different types of mushrooms, but it's I'm not the biggest fan of them. I made the one-piece pasta, and I think I forgot to post the recipe into Discord. I think so, because I don't remember. Oh, gosh. Oh, that's not good. That is very much not good. Yeah, I'm gonna have to take a look at that then. Shoot, 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 shoot. Alright, big push now. Big push now. We can make up the ground. We're only about halfway, not even halfway down the lap. That was a very stupid spin for me. Oh, get out of the dirt. Come on, Isaac. You're throwing away an easy dub. Alright, get it through here. Deep, deep, deep dive on the brakes. There we go. Get right up next to the speedster. Get the overtake done. There we go. There we go. Okay, now we can push. Whoa! Alright, the curb likes to grab the car there. The curb likes to grab the car there. Gotta be careful in that. Okay, come on, 43. Yeah, we had a much slower run this time round. Yeah, that was a big oof. But that's alright. We will still get the car. And what car will it be? I think I already know. I do. I love this car as well. Interesting color choice. Not the biggest fan of the red interior, but otherwise Gorgeous, the MRS. Cute little mid-engine inline 4 machine. Oh, that is a gorgeous, cute little car. Alright, let's see. The Amateur League. What race have we done? Can we do in the Elise here? Probably the MRS Challenge, not gonna lie. Yeah, we could probably do the MRS Challenge in the Amateur League. Yeah, alright. But first we're gonna do some license tests. Welcome forward, Shelby GT. Hope you've been well. Let's start with the Apricot Hill time trial. We already did an Enduro there. We just did a race with the Elise there. This is another mid-engine car. We should know how to drive this. 140.5. Okay. That shouldn't be too hard. Come on, we want to carry as much speed as we can. Through the S's, keep it in third. I was gonna walk. Ooh, nice. A nice fall walk for you. Hope it has been well. Hope you get to enjoy the air, potentially the leaves changing colors. You know, the wonderful weather and everything. Cause yeah, it'd be like early mid fall for you now, I think, with you being Southern Hemisphere. Come on, around the hairpin. Alright, a little bit wide on exit, but that's okay. That's gonna help us carry some speed on the uphill. Alright, we don't want to touch the curb because the curb does slow us down. We want to get as close as possible. There we go. Back on the uphill. I think we carried some solid speed through the chicane. Delian, welcome as well. Hope you're well. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40. Damn, alright, we're an entire second off. Jeez. That is rough. Okay. Okay, we can do this. Entire second off. I know we can gain some time. Maybe shift a little bit sooner. I've been pretty good the past couple months. Been very busy with work, but otherwise have been doing pretty solidly. This will open this corner up, which will allow us to carry more speed through here. We still lost some ground to our time, so I'm a little bit disappointed on that. Get a little bit closer to the inside. That did allow us to carry more speed on the exits. Alright, we are gaining time on the exit of that corner. No! The cones! The cones got us. Alright, so wide line through this one, all the way out here. Carry the speed all the way through. Absolutely send it through this S's. Back again to the left. Back again to the right. Alright, we're about a tenth, maybe 2 ahead. Run it out all the way wide. Keep it tight on the inside. A little bit more speed on the exit. Alright, we gotta be a little bit late on the brakes here heading into the hairpin. Oh, that was bad. Base is done. Nice. Very, very nice, man. Hopefully the rest of the decals and everything aren't too much more difficult. Okay. I think this will get us the second. Come on. 7, 8, 9. Oh, just barely. Woo. All right, that's the first one done. Let's do 2 more tonight for the S license and then go back to the regular races. Holy mother of mothers. Next one is to try my underrun at the Miata. Yeah, this one. This one's gonna be a pain. I think this one's always a little bit more tough. But we can do it. Just gotta remember that this is absolutely a momentum car. We're gonna cut as much as we can all the way through. Alright, so I don't need to shift in a second there. Maybe keep it through third all the way through this sector. There we go, smooth line through there. This is good. Carry as much speed as we can for the uphill. This will make or break our time. Big push. Alright, that's gonna slow us down. That's gonna slow us down massively. Alright, we gotta remember that next time. Because that is after hairpin. Heading back uphill, very, very steep uphill as well. Okay. We want to set this up to go as fast as possible. $50, $51, $52. Okay. We're about a second off. Come on, we can do this. Come on. Yo, welcome Batman, hope you're well. Right now we are trying to shave off a full second in the Miata at Trial Mountain. Oh, that was a much better run out of that corner. Shoot. Okay. We can do this, we can do this. We want to straight line this more, carry a little bit more speed. Open up this corner a little bit more. You can see us start to make the ground back. There we go. Alright, we lost a little bit of time on that corner there. I absolutely hit that right the previous lap, or the previous time we tried this. There we go. That's a much better run out of that one. Alright, then the final sectors where the lap really started to fall apart. We were good up until then. So we just gotta need to make sure we don't hit the wall there. There we go. That's where we lost all the time. You can see as well. Holy moly. All the way up here, full throttle. Yeah, that is pretty much a full second right there. Alright, now let's make sure we open up this one as much as possible. Through the chicane. 50, 51, 50. Mother of mothers. Alright, 2/10 off. 2/10 off. It's literally turn 5. Turn 5 is where we are losing time. I need to find out how I did that the previous time, for that one. Because that is where I pretty much lost about 2/10, maybe more. I can do it, I hope so. There we go, that's better. Slow in, fast out, keep it in third. There we go. Okay. This might be it. It's gonna be close. Alright, we gained a little bit more time on the hairpin. A little bit more time on the hairpin. There we go. Good run through there. Not many corners left. Holy cow. We absolutely pushed the limits of the track right there. No! Are you kidding me? Bruh. Bruh. Holy mother of fuck. Absolute kick in the nuts that one was. I gotta find out how I can gain that time. I'm looking at it on track and holy moly, it's bright. Oh, maybe that might hurt us. That might hurt us. Okay, there we go. Better run out of there. Okay. There was some time. Okay. Okay. Come on. Come on, chicane is literally full throttle. Don't fuck it up, Isaac. This has gotta be it. Oh yeah, by a long shot as well. Let's go. Let's go. Alright, that one took a couple of tries, but that one wasn't super frustrating. We made it. We made that one work. We made that one work. Holy moly. We made that one work. There you go. Exactly. Woo woo. Absolute holy mother of mothers. Oh. Oh, dang, that is bright. I just see it now. That is extra bright. Alright, one more S license for the night, and then we're going back to the regular races. We're gonna be in the wet, in the Hachiro coop. And this is going to be very, very fun. Because you basically gotta treat it like a rally stage. Because it is a rally stage in the game. There we go. Alright, not the best line through there. Yeah, it looks genuinely gorgeous in the wet, like the reflections on a like a early PS2 game are absolutely amazing. Like, I am absolutely loving this. Oh, that's not good. That's entirely the wrong line there. This one is a little bit trickier though. I'm not quite as good at the city street circuits as I am things like Trial Mountain or Apricot Hill. A lot more stop and go and everything. But I can usually do alright. This one does take me a little bit longer than the Trial Mountain one, but not by a whole lot. You do want to go in the lower speed corners. You do want to keep it one gear higher because you don't want to risk wheel spin. It's very easy to get the rear to step out in this car. So you want to really, you know, maximize whatever traction you have. That is the key to getting a very good time in this race. There we go. Alright, only got basically one corner complex left. The chicane followed by the high-speed right-hander. And that exit there will make or break our time. That's gonna slow us down. That's gonna slow us down a lot. Okay. Yeah, on track it is considerably brighter. This one, I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling as a good time. 10 seconds down what is going to be the longest straight of our lives when we're doing this test. Yeah, that was pretty rough. I don't know, a Satin Metallic could probably work. A Satin Metallic could probably work pretty well, I think. Pinelli Jones is your favorite legend, or is it? Nice. Okay, there we go. We can actually go to second there. Second gear is perfectly fine. First gear is a big no-no. Second gear is fine. Alright, we already gained a little bit of time there. See if we can't run it out a little bit wider here. Yes, we can. Alright, pull a little bit further ahead there. Much further ahead. There we go. Get that traction down. Get the acceleration down. Alright, and this final sector is where we absolutely messed everything up. Granted, we got a lot of time to make up. So we will see if this comes anywhere close. Oh, the understeer on that corner is a pain in the ass. But we still got a higher exit speed. That's all that matters. Yeah, oh yeah, the chromic golden now would be really good. Make like a memory. Ooh, a memory out of the Penele Jones cars. Nice. Oh, bruh. 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 Okay, we are close. We are very close. We can do this. That is literally a 1/10 of a second we're shaving off now. And I know how we can do it. I know how we can do it. He says he's down on time. We're up on time exiting though. Alright, that hurt. That one hurt our time a little bit. Gotta remember, it's a compromised corner. There we go. Alright, gaining a little bit of time here. There we go, much better exit out of the hairpin. There we go, even with the messed up Sector 1, Sector 2, and Sector 3 are gonna be a lot quicker. I'm gonna go down a gear. There we go, this'll do it. This'll do it. Now we just wait. Now we just wait. This'll be enough. This'll be enough. You're gonna keep it chrome? Alright, nice. As that'll look good. 7, 8. Yeah. Much better. We could probably even get it quicker if we hadn't messed up that first sector. We lost probably about a 1/10 there, but we still did well. We still did pretty well. I'm happy about that. I am very happy about that. Alright, let's get the oil change. Get a little bit more power in this car. Get a car wash as well, and then we will be tackling the Amateur League MR Cup. MR Challenge. There we go. Alright. Ooh, alright, we got a couple of options. Let's go Deep Forest Raceway too. They at least should do pretty well there. Lightweight, agile. Tokyo, we might struggle a little bit. Oh shoot, that's an NSX. Alright, chat, we might be cooked. Holy mother of. Alright, well let's see. Let's see what we can do. We might be able to still make things work. But it's gonna be a tough one. Maybe not. Holy damn. What the hell? Yeah, no, okay. That is something we do not currently have the capabilities of doing. So I'm gonna visit our good friend the tuning shop, as we are gonna be having a little bit of fun with this. Alright, so let's get the lightweight stage 1 in. There we go. Let's get the yeah, the sports brakes. There we go. Ooh, we can put a turbo in. Only the stage 1 though. What is the engine upgrades? Only the stage 1 as well. Okay. Well, let's get the racing chip in. A little bit more power. A little bit more power there. Get the semi-racing suspension kit in as well. That'll help with the grip through the corners. And we're still gonna be down on power. Yeah, let's go for it. This should allow us to tackle the Amateur League, Amateur Cup, Amateur Challenge. Alright, Deep Forest Raceway. A little bit more power, a little bit more handling, a little bit better brakes. I think we should do it. I think this will do it. The weight reduction, the engine upgrades. Like this will put us in a similar power to weight ratio as like the NSX, the Tamikaira, like all that stuff. In theory. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, it does. We just gotta carry our speed out of the corners. Alright, we're within 2 seconds. Although one in the straights is still outperforming us. So it'll be out. Can you not hunt me, you melon? Alright, our rear left is already up to operating temperature. So I'm a little bit concerned. Damn, they're still pulling a gap. Okay. I want to know what kind of power they have, because even like the wiki's like, oh yeah, we don't know how much power they actually have. So let's go get a few more things. We gotta tune this up for the Elite Championship anyway. So we may as well begin. We may as well begin with this. With the super slick tires as well. That way we can have that. Alright, Amateur League. Amateur Challenge. I don't want to preview. Come on, load quick. There we go. Alright, actually enter the race. Let's go. Let's do this. We can make this work, right? Oh, it sounds aggressive with the racing exhaust. Bro, what the hell? They're still out accelerating us from the launch. That is crazy. Like, even the other Elise 190 is like, nah, bro. We're still faster. Like, damn, okay. Alright, gotta remember, tires are still cold. They don't exactly have the best grip yet. But they will soon. Let's stay to the inside. Ow. Try to avoid getting punted off by the NSX. These high-speed corners will really help get the rears all up to temperature. Holy moly, what else do they have on those things? Like, this is killer. Oh, that is understeer. That is understeer, that is major understeer. Please don't spin me. I still have like no grip in these super slick tires. Alright, but it's starting to heat up. So now we can really gain on them. Holy moly. Okay, back down under 3. So we're starting to get quicker. Okay, a little bit spicy through that corner, but not bad. Little twitch. Okay, we're starting to get grip. We can lean on the tires more, which then give them more heat. Alright, we're up there with the Clio now. Ow, okay. There we go, down on the inside. Ooh, alright, the cutback. That's fine, we'll just take your suck. You got plenty of power from that V6 anyway. I will happily stay right behind you. Yeah, now we're gaining on the leader. Tires are starting to come alive a little bit. Oh, the car is so lightweight, it's hard to get the tires up to temperature. Alright, little bit more time gain. Not enough right yet. Hopefully this next infield section will really help us in the final 2 laps. Jeez, that Tommy Kyra came alive as well. Come on, we can't afford to be battling for 3rd place. First is still up ahead. Come on, please. Can these tires get up to temperature? Could have sworn they'd at least be doing something by now. Alright, the Clio's pitting. The NSX is pitting as well. Alright, so it's just the featherweights now. Do these guys pit? That is the question. We're gaining. We are gaining on them. Can you not send it on my inside every single corner, you dingus? That's what happens when you overdrive. Now we both lost time to the leader. You happy about that? Come on now. Oh, are they pitting? They're both pitting. Okay. That puts us into the lead. We just got to defend against the Tommy Kyra now. All right, this is good for us. Tires are finally starting to come into their own. Let's put this Tommy Kyra in the ground, in the dirt. And let's make sure we push ahead now. Yeah, our times are steadily getting quicker and quicker. There we go. Way back there now. Bye-bye, you dingus. Oh man, that was a little bit of a worrying race there. I was a little bit worried if that was gonna work out or not. Thankfully it did. We're very, very, very lucky that it did. Although we're not out of the woods yet, both literally and metaphorically. That Tommy Kyra is very rapid in the infield section. So we gotta be a little bit careful. Come on, come on. They're on a turn. Big push now. Okay, not a bad race. Holy cow, that was close. That was way too close. All right, 5 grand, I'll take that 5 grand from you. All right, next race. Can't remember what I get from the amateur league. Emira challenge. All right, next one, let's do Tokyo. Let's do Tokyo, go long haul from Sweden to Japan. Let's do this. All right. So this one's a little bit longer, and it does put a little bit more wear on tires. So there's a chance that we will see more and more of the field pit. I know we can go the full distance. I know for a fact that Clio and the NSX are both gonna pit. They're a bit on the heavier side, a bit more torquey as well with those V6s as opposed to the inline 4s that everyone else has in this grid. And that is going to absolutely allow them to tear up the tires a little more. The tires will get up the temperature a little bit quicker. But we will definitely be ready for the cutback. And already we're keeping up with them on the colder tires. A little bit of a bonk. That's gonna hurt our momentum. The Lease is very much a momentum car. And it shows, even with the upgrades. Just gotta absolutely push it to the limits. Okay. We're starting to lose the lead pack. I don't want that. Okay, that's not good. That slowed us down a bit. Come on, I need these tires to get up the temperature, and now. Alright, managed to get a little bit more ground going on there. Onto the brakes, deep onto the brakes. Oh, okay. That bonk killed our momentum. That's fine, it'll push the Clio up with the rest of the field. And then we can get the suck off of them. Stay in the draft all the way down the straight. Maybe send up the inside heading into the hairpin. We shall see. Alright, he's going defensive. I'm going, whoa, hey, easy moving on the braking there, you dingus. Okay, we're good. Okay. Holy moly, they're still going very, very quickly. Thankfully, we still got plenty of laps, plenty of tarmac to go. The rears are starting to come alive a little bit. I can actually step out of the corners without the back end going all willy-nilly on me. And that is good, although I'm getting a little bit of understeer that the fronts have to start biting now. And I start getting the fronts at the temp as well. Hopefully. Right side's starting to look good. Down a gear. Out to the wall, but don't touch it. This will give us the overspeed on the NSX. Deep on the brakes here. There we go. Chop off their nose. We can do this. We can do this. Alright, first and second just ahead. The Elise 190 and the Tommy Kyra. Both mid-engine, inline 4 powered, lightweight machines. Yeah, the MR2 and MR2 and Clio are pitting. I called that early. So the NSX is probably pitting next lap. Maybe the Elise as well. Although the NSX pitting is only pitting. Yeah, NSX is probably going to pit next lap. Elise maybe on the end of lap 4. Tommy Kyra may also pit, but it'll be an interesting one. It'll be an interesting one, that one. That'll be our biggest rival, I think. Ooh, alright. He's looking to make a move. He's got a little bit of speed there. Come on. Alright, let's stay off of the curb there. Gotta be a little bit cautious. Yep, alright, they're looking for a gap on the inside. Nah, ain't gonna work for them though. Never mind, it did work for them. Damn, okay. GG there. Alright, get a little bit of the draft, get a little bit of the exit over speed on the Tommy Kyra. Okay, they're doing good. Yeah, NSX is pitting this lap. So the Elise is probably pitting next lap. If the Clio was pitting earlier, the Elise's tires have got to be close to done. Maybe even the Tommy Kyra may be starting to feel the pinch a little bit. Alright. Alright, a little bit of a bonk, That is okay. We can make up that ground shortly. When we're not being dive bombed on a corner you don't dive bomb on. I'm punting a Tommy Kyra when I get the chance. I am absolutely punting them when I get the chance. That move was not on. Alright, maybe they'll get tangled up with the Elise. Never mind, the Elise wrecked themselves. Great, I was hoping you'd hold them up a little bit more. Come on, where's that team play? There we go, send it up the inside. And then bye-bye, outpower them down the straights. Elise is pitting now, I think. Yep, Elise is pitting. So it's gonna be me versus the Tommy Kyra for the final lap. Let's do it, ladies and gentlemen. Full send, no mistakes. Tires are most at the temperature. Yeah, the rear is gripping. The front's starting to grip as well. Come on, we can do this. Alright, run out a little bit wide. There we go, good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. Alright, we're making this work. Come on, can the Brits beat the Japanese on their home turf? Both lightweight mid-engine sports cars, both powered by punchy outsourced little inline-4 engines. The Tamikara being powered by, I believe, a Nissan power plant. The Elise being powered by a Rover K series engine. Both heavily tuned to get even more power. Alright, down the gear. Alright, bad exit out of that corner. Bad exit out of that corner. But that is alright. The finish line is just ahead. The finish line is just ahead. This is race 2 of 3 of the MR Challenge beaten for the Amateur League. There we go. Good stuff. Very, very good stuff. Give me the money. Show me the money. Alright, final race, Grand Valley Speedway. Let's do this, chat. Alright, got the Elise 190. We got the ZZS. There's gonna be our main rivals. Everything else, although this being a higher speed track, that the NSX may be a little bit of a challenge early on, but they will pit for tires sooner rather than later. But that speed of the NSX will definitely help them. Oh, hey yo, hey yo. Easy with the swerve in there. Nanya, welcome to the stream. Hope you've been well. Right now, we're in the final of the Amateur League MR Cup races. And we have a very tight field. That Tamikara is going to be absolutely ridiculous once both it and our tires come alive. The NSX is very, very quick as well. Yeah, especially on the higher speed circuit like Grand Valley. And the Elise 190, that's the same car we're in. So it'll be a bit of a mirror match here as we are all duking it out. It's basically a 4-way, potentially 5-way battle for first right now. Not one has broken away. Yeah, I am driving the Lotus. I am driving the this rose silver colored Lotus Elise 190. That's a little bit wide there. That's gonna get me under attack from the Tamikara. Yeah, they got the inside line heading into the turn. Oh, they backed out a little bit. Got a little bit of straight line grunt. People remember the carbide sound. Yes. It's a good one as well. Like, it's got plenty of grip. It's got great acceleration. It takes a while for the tires, especially if you're running like the racing hards, to really get up the temperature and running. But most of the people in this track do go through the tires pretty quickly. Like by then at lap 2, that Clio is going to be pitting. The NSX is probably going to be pitting as well. Alright, have a great night, Bloodwolf. But yeah, I'm excited for the livery, so I hope to see you again in the TGT races. Hopefully some good racing going on. The brakes don't want to be brakes. That's gonna hurt our time a bit. I need a little bit more temperature. I need a little bit more temperature to really get this thing going. Yeah. Very rarely on any racetrack are you really reaching the top speed. Outside of maybe like Super Speedway, Grand Valley, Special Stage Route 11, and the test course. Those are the only ones where top speed can only kind of matter. And even then, Special Stage Route 11 and Grand Valley are twisty enough in their other sectors that you don't need to worry as much about top speed. Come on, let's get on the inside of the Clio. Get by them. I do like the look of the Phase 1 Clio, mid-engine Clios, better than the Phase 2. I don't know, I like the kind of more classic style headlights versus the very large kind of bulbous headlights in the facelifted version. Not particularly my style of car, of the facelifted ones. Can you not dive bomb me? I already had enough dive bombs Saturday. Alright, yeah, there goes the Clio. So that's the Clio into the pits. Oh, the other Elise is now way ahead. We can make up some ground. The big thing we need to catch is the Tommy Kyra. Tires are starting to come alive. You're starting to see them change from the blue to the green in the rear. That's going to help a little bit. Get a little more power down out of the turns. Yeah, we've hemorrhaged the bleeding. Now it's time to go into the attack. Maybe. That corner's gonna hurt us a bit. Alright, I see the NSX. The NSX is struggling now. This is good. This is very, very good. Alright, yeah, we lost a little bit more time from that. Not by much though, so we're still within striking distance. Especially because I'm expecting with Grand Valley to be a fairly high tire wear track that all but myself and Tommy Kyra will be pitting. Tommy Kyra's probably maybe 4 seconds away. Oh, that is significantly more time lost. Okay. That's not good. Come on, come on. We need a little bit more speed. Come on, NSX needs to pit now. 9 seconds. What the hell? Jeez, okay, that's not good. We need to absolutely blow the doors off these next 2 laps. But I'm feeling a bit of the heat. Okay, we're gaining time now. Our tire's up to temp. Where did that pains come from? I know. Like, we were at the start in a battle with the Elise and everything. And now they just like absolutely rocketed off at the start of lap 2. The Tommy Kyra as well. I'm hoping maybe the Tommy Kyra pits this lap as well. I am begging for it to pit this lap. Alright, we didn't lose any time. We're not really gaining time either like I wanted. And we're not gaining time on the Tommy either. Come on, come on. Alright, I'm not a big fan of the understeer there. That's alright. Alright, yeah, the Elise is slowing down a bit. Oh, we're not gonna be able to catch the Tommy though. We're not gonna be able to catch the Tommy though. Okay, that's fine. We need to upgrade the Elise for the Elise race anyway. So let's do that. Max weight reduction. There we go. Alright, a little bit more power. I will gladly take that. Let's take us only 9 more horsepower. Damn, okay. Alright, let's go with the twin plate clutch. Get the shorter shifts. The semi-racing flywheel. Get as much as we can. Some more of the Esprit guy. I know, but the Elise was a... The Elise was a prize car, so... You know, it does help. Okay. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Ugh. We can do this, right, chat? Holy moly. Alright, we got the Motorsport Elise instead. That's gonna be a little bit quicker than the Elise 190. But still gonna pit on the same lap. Our main rival, again, is gonna be the Tommy Kyra. And we wanna basically get as much of a launch as we can. And see if we can't stay ahead of the Tommy. There we go, the closer, the shorter gear ratios. Very, very nice. Yeah, the Motorsport Elise does have downforce adjustments. But that is going to also cause a little bit more wear on the tires. And a little bit more drag on the straights, so it's going to be a... There we go. Gosh, the Motorsport Elise is such a cool car as well. I know there's one guy on the Twitter that does commissions for different custom vehicles, like Hot Wheels, 3D printed Hot Wheels cars. That like fully function. I want to see if maybe he'd be willing to do a Motorsport Elise. Well, I don't know. There's a couple of like my uncle's cars I'd want to get for like birthday present as well. Yeah, it's just as lightweight. It's got a little bit more power as well. So we will see. Because the Elise 190 is basically a semi-racing car as well, with like a cage and all of that. So we will see what it'll do. Alright, that's fine. That is A-okay. Back again to the right. At least have the Motorsport Elise Hot Wheels. Oh, they actually made one of those. Wait, the Happy Meal one. The green one with the neon! The green one with the red neon, it was the Happy Meal one. It was when they had like the hard nose, like Evil Twin and the lead sled cars and all those ones in the Happy Meal toys as well. Yes! Oh my gosh, I remember. Bruh. That unlocked like a core memory. That unlocked like a core memory. Holy moly. Bruh. I remember because that was the first one I ever got as a Happy Meal toy of the Hot Wheels like neon Happy Meal cars that light up. And I got it when I was heading down to the ocean with my parents. And so like at night in the hotel room, when all the lights off, I turned the neon on. I was like playing with the car and everything. And my parents were laughing, seeing, you know, the little red neon lights, you know, going around and me making the little silly car noises. They were like, all right, you've had your fun. Now it's time to actually go to sleep now. I'm like, okay. But that was so cool. I remember like kind of like pretending like drifted around like the chair and everything like that. Oh my gosh. Bruh. The core memory there. Holy moly. I can't believe I still remember that. I wonder if I even have it anymore. I know back when I kind of like got into high school and everything. So sad when the lights died. I know. Did they make it so you could change the battery? I can't remember if you could or not. Maybe. But oh my gosh, that was so cool. I'm kind of sad that there isn't, like, I get it, you know, you don't want to promote like unhealthy fast food to children and everything. You couldn't change the battery. Damn, big rip. Big rip. So it's kind of a one and done then. That's a shame. That is a shame. Ow, hi. Hi. Can you not be a melon? Can you not be a melon? Thank you for choosing to not be a melon. I appreciate that. Have a great day, non-melon. Oh, alright, melon's getting by again. Okay. Oh, you could change the battery. Okay, cool. So I'll have to take a look and see if I can't find it. Because when I went to high school and everything, like, and I kind of outgrew Hot Wheels a little bit. My parents put a lot of my cars that I had up in storage, and I think it's still like in a tote somewhere at their house. I have to go through and see if I can find it, because like that one was so cool. And I've got a few Hot Wheels cars nowadays on my desk at work that are like, you know, vehicles that have like a special place in my heart. Mainly the ND Miata is one of them, as well as the Mazda 787B. But I got those two on my desk at work right now, and those are fun vehicles. I love my Mazdas. I love my Zooms. I ended up missing out on the AMG GT3 Hot Wheels car. I'll have to see if I can't find one of those as well. Alright, the lease is starting to get a little bit quick. 1 second back. A little over 1 second back. Alright, but the rears look like they might be starting to die on the Elise. He's getting a little spicy out of those corners. I bet he's gonna pit this lap. That downforce will add to the tire as well. Like the Mazda prototypes. Yes, the Mazda DPI as well was so cool. Especially when they were running it in that Soul Crystal Red. Absolutely gorgeous color scheme. Yes, all of those were the MX-01. Just so cool. Oh gosh, easy. Well, even their GT racers, like the RX-8s that competed in the Grand Am Championship, the tube frame RX-8s, or the RX-7s that competed in the IMSA GTO class. Those things were absolutely gorgeous as well. Then you had the Mazda Cosmo that competed in the a couple of Nürburgring endurance races. So that Mazda had a V10 race. True. But that one wasn't quite as, to my knowledge, it wasn't as successful as the rotary powered ones, right? I think. The V10 was kind of, like it either didn't like fully like make it into a lot of races, or if any, So I don't remember much about the V10 doing much in racing. But I could be misremembering. I could very well be misremembering. Alright, the motorsport, the Elise is pitting. Yeah, the speed source RX. I always rooted for that during like the Daytona races and everything, the Grand Am Daytona races. That was always so cool to hear them as well. I had been to a couple of Grand Am races when I was a bit younger, and oh my gosh, that RX-8 was so loud, but it was so cool too. Like, that was such a fun car. It's why in Gran Turismo 7, I main the Vision GT3 because I love the rotary sound. The V10 was 3.5 at Group C area. Ah, okay, back with the F1 derived engines. It was decent, but didn't have enough funding. Okay. Yeah, it must have been like kind of a short-lived project as well, because I don't know nearly enough about it. Easy through the turns. Get under control. Get under control. There we go. Full speed ahead. Down on the gears. Back to the left. It's basically a rebodied XJR14 with a Judd V10. So they just kind of cobbled some stuff together. I see. And was that factory backed, or was that more of kind of a privateer team type of deal? There we go. That is another race won. Yeah, like the R390 GT10 is also rebodied jet. Wait, which one was the R390 rebodied off of? Oh, nuts. It's not a Type R, but nuts. That gorgeous purple NSX. It was factor back. Okay, dang. Mazda really trying to, I don't want to say cut corners, but definitely showing the lack of funds there. Holy moly. Use the XJR15 chassis. Interesting. Both developed by TB. Okay, that makes sense. XJR15 actually kind of makes sense. From Tom Walkinshaw. Yeah. Now we got that. Got all the power we can get. I think we should be ready for the Elise race here. Alternatively, we can try Spider and Roadster. Nah, I'm gonna do the Elise trophy. Besides, it's gonna start us on Côte d'Azur, which is one of my favorite another one of my favorite tracks in the game. Was it the Mazda MX-R01? Had to compete against the Peugeot and the Toyota. Yeah, and the Peugeot especially was like really good. Like the Toyota was pretty solid, but that Peugeot was holy. The 905 was like mwah. Absolute nuts. Alright, let's do this one make race. Okay, so at least was able to beat all the other privateers and everything. It was only really the the other factory back teams that had more funding and everything, and likely had F1 ties that Mazda didn't. Ow! What the hell was that punt? What the hell was that punt? Yeah, Toyota was the one that was able to kind of take it to the Peugeots. Although I think the Peugeots still got the better success rate in the end, if memory serves me correctly. Hang on one second. Alright, there we go. Sorry about that. They did. Okay. Yeah, it makes sense. So I remember the 905 having a lot more... Yeah, the 905B Evos as well. Jeez. So absolutely ridiculous then. They even had the Supercopter, which essentially they. Oh, I didn't know about that one. I gotta look that one up later on. Holy moly. There we go. Alright, we're doing alright. Our tires are still very cold. As we say that. That hurt us a little bit. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, there wasn't that much other competition in the JSPC. Like, I don't think Peugeot entered that, so it was mainly just the Japanese privateers and everything. So without Peugeot to battle, it basically became like the dominant force. Oh, why are you slowing down there? Come on. Ow, hi. Hi. True, that is true. So I guess there's just the reliability and stability of the TSO-10 helped it out against the JSPC rivals that maybe had a bit more power. Yeah, so about a 200 horsepower gap. So pretty big gap there. But I mean, you got to think a lot of the Japanese circuits outside of Fuji were kind of more tight, technical, and twisty. Like maybe Fuji, maybe Motegi. Like outside of those two, like you got Suzuki, you got Okayama, you got like Sugo and all that other like type of stuff. That are much, more aero dependent, much more, you need more, tire preservation, the grip, the handling, and all that stuff. Combine that with Japan's more kind of rainy climate, and I could see why a lower powered car that had the better aero would really be able to kind of, show up the higher powered turbo machines. Ow, hey, can you not? Can you stop pushing me off the track, you dingus? I will punt you. Oh yeah, the GTP era is crazy as well. The Toyota, the Toyota Eagles, and the Nissan GTPs as well were absolutely ridiculous. Like, holy moly. Like, yeah, there was some other stuff as well, but like those two seem to be like the big dogs. Because those turbo machines had similar devices. Yeah, but because a lot of the American tracks are a little bit tighter and twistier. Things like Lime Rock, Mid-Ohio, you know, it was a little bit less of a push towards like the straight line speed. But then yeah, you got Daytona and Road America as well. So you get a good mix of the American tracks between the twisties and the high speed stuff. Hang on one second. Huh, okay. How is using up so much CPU usage? Huh. Okay. That's just a little bit strange. Like, I'm not noticing major dips in performance, but it's just a little bit here and there. I gotta be a little bit careful. A little bit careful now. Tires are starting to come up to temp after a couple of laps. We are absolutely tearing around the Monaco street circuit in our Lotus. This thing was a beast. The R91 CP was Japan race car only, but became the first Japanese ever win a 224 outright. Yeah. There was some really good winners for the Daytona 24 as well before they went with the Daytona prototype class. I wasn't the biggest fan of the early Daytona prototypes. Like, I understand they wanted to make it safer and everything, and they kind of had a bit of a sports car split. But like, on the other hand, like, dang, it's a little bit sad. Yeah, beat out the Eagle. From my understanding, the Eagle was better on like the tighter, twistier tracks, whereas the R91 was... Yeah, sorry, the WSC. What did I say? Because like the WSC cars were also pretty fun. But then like when I went to the Daytona prototypes, Frat Daytona, in the 2000s, it was a little... I wasn't the biggest fan of those. Like the WSC had some really cool stuff as well. Like you had the Porsche and the Ferrari WSC cars that were really, really nice. I still absolutely love that Ferrari 333P. That one is a truly gorgeous and underrated Ferrari car, especially with the cool sponsor liveries and everything, from the Olive Garden to the Momo wheels. Like, so cool. Absolutely loved it. The Porsche one was really good as well. Alright, easy. What sports car cars are similar to the prototypes in Europe, so a lot of them race both. Like the Ferrari, like the Porsche. The Porsche, I think, even won Le Mans with his couple of its WSC cars. I think, like 97, 98, I believe, were the Porsche victories in the WSC Porsche. If memory serves correctly. Or was it 96, 97? I know they did a back-to-back in the mid to late 90s. And I think that was it? Correct me if I'm wrong. Unless there was the back-to-back Daytona 24s in the WSC cars and I'm misremembering them. And I had a good run in... 98 was the 911 G2... Ah, wrong pusher. What did the WSC cars win? Because I know they won 2 24-hour races back-to-back in the WSC cars. Yeah, the one that caught air at Petit Le Mans. That one. There we go, new fastest lap. Alright, we're absolutely putting the hurt on the rest of the opponents. Yeah, that was also 911 GT1, the long soupy one. Yep. That was the one that two different Le Mans, two different German GT1 cars going for a tumble. In France you had Mercedes, in America you had Porsche. Very, very scary. Alright, come on. Big, big push. Alright, easy. Easy. Yeah, they did win Le Mans 97 as well. Wait. Which one won Le Mans 97? The 911 G21 or the WSC Porsche? So I'm trying to remember. I may be remembering, but I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure. The WSC, okay. So that means it won 96 as well, because I remember them doing a back-to-back WSC victory at Le Mans, I believe. It's either back-to-back WSC victory at Le Mans or back-to-back WSC victory at Daytona. One of those two 24-hour races, they did a back-to-back WSC victory. But yeah, those WSC cars were really cool as well. The Porsche and the Ferrari were some of my favorites. Just one lap ahead of the 911 GT1. It's cool how they traded wins and stuff like that, despite being such different vehicles. Both of them have a pretty strong record at Le Mans, which is really, really awesome. Yeah, the arrows on the long wheelbase and the power and everything were really, really good on those high-speed tracks. I'm happy we get to see a new era of sports car racing as well. Like what we have nowadays is pretty good. I am quite happy. Like we're getting some really good top-notch racing, top-notch broadcasting all around the world. Porsche had the back-to-back Le Mans wins just with different cars. Oh, okay. So wait, who won in 96 then? I'm trying to remember what vehicle the 96 version was. Come on, easy. Back to the right. There we go. Only 2 more laps to go. Then we could probably do one more Elise race before it's time to end the stream. We'll finish with the championship next time. Wait, 98 was also the WSC. Hey yo, awesome. Yeah, those WSC cars were absolutely gorgeous. Oh, 96 and 97 was WSC. 98 was the GT1. Dang, 3 in a row, even with different cars for Porsche. That's actually really cool. I'm impressed on that front. I am very impressed on that front. Porsche absolutely taking names. That is awesome. That is absolutely amazing. Holy moly. Like, I can't imagine just how proud like the top brass of Porsche would feel, you know, when having multiple different race cars of the era win at Le Mans. Like, that's gotta be so cool. Yeah, because they were a little bit more kind of similar to their production versions. A little bit less fragile, a little bit heavier, longer fuel stints. So they're focusing more so on the long runs. Whereas the WSC cars are a little bit lighter, a little bit nippier. Yeah. Oh, still, that is awesome. Oop, okay, gotta be careful going through here. Gotta be a little bit careful going through there. Alright, back to the right. Down a couple of gears. Final couple of corners, and then we will be winning in Monaco. The back end was all the 960, only the driver's space was the regular 983. That's pretty cool though, they kind of made a Franken Porsche. That's pretty cool, actually. Oh, there we go. That's the money we need. That is absolutely the money we need. And we even beat the Motorsport Elises as well. We got time for one more race for the night. It's gonna be a longer one, but it's gonna be a fun one. Oh, and it's gonna be at our favorite track as well. Let's go. Apricot Hill Raceway. We started the stream with an enduro here. We end the stream with a shorter race here. Absolutely love this track, and it loves me as well. Plenty of great drives here. And then Dower used the 962 chassis to get in the GT cars. Don't worry, it's a prototype. It's got a road going version. Don't you worry. Dower. The scrappy underdogs that will basically do everything in their power to get, you know, an advantage. Or to at least claw back the deficit. Oh gosh, okay, gotta brake a little bit earlier. That's gonna hurt us coming out of the turn. That's gonna hurt us coming out of the turn. That's alright, that's alright. Yeah, I'd imagine basically Porsche kind of treated them like a like a privateer team, almost in a way. Like, all right, we can't quite do this, but you can maybe. And if you do well, we'll be extra happy about it and give you, you know, maybe a little bit of extra technical support on the side. That was pain. That's gonna cost me a lot of time. All right, back down to 4 seconds back behind the leader. Yeah, the Elise 190 is a little bit weak compared to the motorsport Elise on these mid-speed twisty courses. Much more collaborative that. Yeah, I'd imagine Porsche it was probably like a heavily backed by Porsche, but was dour in pretty much all but name maybe. It's probably the likelihood of that. And just Porsche didn't want the potential fallout of, you know, the silliness of, all right, they're just running a 962. What do you expect to happen there if it was Porsche? But if it was, you know, the underdog dour, they'd be like, okay, yeah, how fast are they gonna actually be? And then, you know, they turn out to be absolute kick-ass. Because while they're not a Porsche team, they still have a lot of backing from Porsche. Come on, I need my tires to get temperature, and I need temperature now. There we go. So maybe that was a way for them to kind of, one, test the waters maybe, and or two, kind of get around the, yeah, we're not officially doing any official racing, but you know, these privateers, we can give them all the data we had on the 962. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Come on, I need this thing to start getting me a little bit more pace. Yeah, because we're losing grounds. In fact, the Dow 962 ran against Group C 962s. Yeah, they had the extra weight, the air restrictors and all that stuff. So I wonder how the pace difference changed then. Oh, that's a bad line through there. That is a very bad line through there. So basically had the baseline speed of the 962. It at least had like the tested durability, and you can have the larger fuel tank so you can run the longest stints. And then of course, I mean, it makes sense. They were probably like, all right, they're probably hedging their bets on, all right, if it does win, we ban it. If it doesn't win, we can maybe see about it still competing. But it's very much not in the spirit of the rules. It is very much going kind of against what we intended for this new class. And I'm sure plenty of teams complained as well about the road going 962. Yeah, maybe a bit less of the restrictions, and the less aero drag probably helped it a lot, which is nice. Alright, come on. Need a little bit of grip. Yeah, like I can imagine like McLaren complained, Ferrari complained. Like a lot of the big names probably complained in the GT1 class. Like, hey, that is basically a prototype. We're at least building bespoke, you know, sports cars and everything. They're literally just taking a Group C and, you know, tweaking a few things to make it road legal, and then going, yep, this is our car. Which cars were after that? What were the cars that were coming in that were competed in? I'm trying to remember now. Trying to get my timeline complete. Also, we're finally catching back up to the other Elises. There we go. Up in the third podium position. Oh, you're gonna send it wide. Thank you for giving me that position back and absolutely sending yourself way back there. I appreciate you overdriving the car in an attempt to really push me. Alright, we're halfway through the race. We can make this work. Come on. Ooh. Alright, good stuff, good stuff. Alright, not much further to first. Come on, we're giving the elite, the motorsport Elises what for. Absolutely sending it. We got the grip. We got the tires. We got the speed. Alright, so we can max out around to 160 in this. Is where the red line is. Dower 1 in 94. So that was just before the McLaren then. So what GT1s were there? What, like Jaguar maybe? Nah. Where were some of the big... Ah, the Toyota prototype. Okay. Makes sense Toyota could potentially complain. Don't you dive me. Oh, you melon. You melon. Oh, okay. Easy. Easy. Alright, we got this, we got this. Yeah, that one won Le Mans in 93. And didn't it eventually get the win revoked? Or was that a different race that the... Yep. Yeah, the post race inspection hurt it massively. Big rip. The poor Jaguar was just getting absolutely fucked every which way with that XJ220. They were like, it's like, all right, we won Le Mans. Psych. All right, we have a car that is like the fastest in the world for a couple months before the McLaren F1 came out. Like, bruh. They just could not win with that XJ220. It was a great car, and it's unfortunately very overlooked by a lot of people and by history as well for the McLaren F1. But like, jeez. Like, I kind of feel bad for Jaguar a little bit. Like, bruh, can you imagine like putting all your blood, sweat, and tears into this like top of the line, you know, supercar that's supposed to be like one of the best in the world. The economy crashes. So not as many people buy it. A rival car comes out that's even quicker than yours. Maybe a year at most after your car comes out. You win at Le Mans, you know, and then the win gets taken away post-race. Like, Jaguar literally could not win. Like, holy moly. A month after the victory, the 3 Jaguars were disqualified on a second technicality. Their appeal, which FIA had supported and upheld, had it been lodged in top, brah. Bruh. That would be the FIA. That would be the FIA. Like, holy moly. They had an appeal to run as a GTO car like the Nissan 350Z, which didn't. Oh, catalytic converters, yes. I'm like, but you need cats because it's a Jaguar. Sorry, that was bad. That was bad. That was genuinely bad. I am sorry. But yeah, no, that was still a pain. I feel bad for the Jaguar. Like I really like the XJ220, the kind of pop down headlights, the cool colors that came in, like the turbo V6 and that was modified. That was built off of like the Rover, not the Rover, the MG 6R4. The Group B car. Like, absolutely ridiculous stuff. I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. Don't worry, I'm disappointed in me too. Yeah, like it was just such a cool vehicle. And it's a shame that it just absolutely got bodied by the McLaren. It was just in the wrong place in the wrong time. There we go. Yeah, and then they modified that for the Jaguar, if my memory serves me correctly. Or at least took like the base architecture and then built it up. So yeah, the Jag didn't race against the McLaren in terms of like actually at Le Mans, but in terms of like supercars of the era, you know, the road-going versions. Like the Jag's record was beaten by the McLaren. The McLaren has the longer has the more memorable legacy now. The McLaren managed to hold its win at Le Mans and didn't get it taken away by the FIA, where the Jaguars did. Like, it's basically like having like that younger brother that you do stuff and you're like, all right, not bad. But then your younger brother comes and is just like doing it so much better than you, and you're like, oh shit. Oh man. But anyway, I'm gonna save and I get ready to do dishes. I'm gonna end the stream here. Thank you all so much for watching, I do appreciate it. If you enjoyed the stream, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe. Let me know what you're doing well in the comments down below. If you didn't like the stream, please let me know and employers could fix it in the future. With that being said, I've been Isaac Umbras, and wherever you're in the world, something to do is for you. May it be a great time, and I will see you all in the next stream. Till then, take care everybody. Bye bye.